Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital YouTube channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Ava wondered what Nicholas had in mind to do to Esmond as they stood before the gallery. In response, he stated that he wished to collaborate with Ava to get rid of Esmond before she caused further harm. He assured Ava that he had no intention of killing Esmond when she directly asked. She wasn't interested in working with him anyhow, and she was dubious. She rolled her eyes at what he assumed to be her fear of not being able to resist him. He told Ava to make sure Esmond showed up for the celebration. When Nina got to Carly's, she had something important to tell her. When Drew came back, he told Carly that Nina had to go because the embassy wanted an answer. Carly insisted that it would be okay whatever he picked, and she would take care of Nina. After Drew left, Nina acknowledged that it was she who had reported Carly and Drew's insider trading to the SEC. Until Drew came back, the two had argued over all the horrible things they'd done to each other. Drew was informed by Carly, and he was disappointed that he was unable to strike Nina due to her gender. That tonight, Carly cried out. She couldn't handle it because her mother had passed away. Carly yelled for Nina to go as she offered her condolences. Carly collapsed into Drew's arms when Nina left, complaining that she was forced to live in a world where Bobby didn't exist and Nina did. After the party, Jocelyn and Dex went back to her dorm room, and she was relieved that he had gotten along with her friends. When Dex opened the door after hearing a disturbance outside, he discovered Adam attempting to enter the space. Holding a crimson cup, he muttered, "What are you doing in my room?" Before he could topple over, Jocelyn placed him down on her bed and asked him what was wrong. He acknowledged that he had lied to his parents about having an internship over winter break and that they were aware of his poor academic performance. According to him, they had threatened to have him removed from PCU and sent somewhere nearby since he wasn't performing up to their standards. After a short while, Jocelyn received a call from Drew asking to come home because Carly needed to speak with her. Although Dex offered to go with her, she asked him to watch Adam. After she left, Dex said to Adam that he could identify with Adam's family circumstances. He'd assured them that things will improve. After a little while, Adam was practically dozing off in Jocelyn's bed. After Dex switched out the light, Adam mumbled, "Thank you, Dex." Michael said on the docks that he had used extortion to prevent Nina from seeing Willow and the children. He was accused of manipulating Willow, who raged at him for going behind her back and getting in the way of her connection with her mother. She was furious that he didn't think she could defend herself if necessary. What kind of marriage is that? She thought to herself when they couldn't even be honest with one another. She needed time, but he assured her they would overcome it. She suggested that he spend the night somewhere else. When his phone rang, he looked to see who it was. Drew. They had nothing else to say that evening, so she told him to accept the call and turn to go. Cyrus showed there as Sunny was standing inside the church, happy that Sunny had come in your hour of greatest need. Sunny spit out that Cyrus's saved act was a farce and that Sunny was not the right person to push him that evening. Cyrus answered, "She told you." And he was happy that his advice had benefited Nina. After Sunny struck Cyrus in the face, Cyrus cited a verse from the Bible about showing mercy to others. Sunny punched Cyrus in the opposite side of his face in retaliation. He shoved Cyrus and made him put up a struggle. Sunny gave Cyrus more punches after he hit the ground, encouraging him to retaliate. Sunny came home later with a bottle. The moment Ava walked into the flat, he remembered his talk with Nina. When she inquired about Nina's whereabouts, Sunny said, "Gone." Avery couldn't see him like that, so she encouraged him to clean up after noticing his bleeding fist. As soon as Nina got home, he left. Ava was promptly informed by Nina of all that had transpired that evening. Although Ava didn't think it was a good idea, Nina only wanted to speak with Sunny briefly. After coming back, Sunny slammed the door in Nina's face. Speaking with Rachel, a nurse at the hospital, Portia mentioned that she had to work on New Year's Eve. Cordia disclosed that she had ambitious goals for 2024, and Rachel hoped that they wouldn't be stuck working that night again the following year. When Portia went back to her office, Curtis was waiting for her with candles, donuts, and a rose. Although Portia expressed her excitement about his surgery, he was afraid it wouldn't be successful. All he wanted to do was knock her flat. She kissed him and insisted that he do that every day. After a short while, Portia and Curtis exited the elevator because she had an urgent matter to attend to. Laura contemplated her family and the extent of the Spencers' losses while she was at the Port Charles Grill. Her phone rang at that very moment, and she answered it to Ace's babysitter, asking him to find Esme. Esme went inside the restaurant after deciding she needed a drink outside. Laura saw her and told the nanny that Esme was all right. Esme told the babysitter over the phone a few minutes later that she would return home shortly. When Kevin came back, he noticed that Esme had dropped her glove and brought her some hot chocolate. Laura called Esme out for breaking into Windermere on Christmas Eve. As soon as she replied that she only had one, Kevin went to speak with someone else. Laura chastised Esme, but Esme stated that she believed that by being there, she could retrieve some memories. Though she acknowledged the wrongness of her actions, she pledged to cover the cost of the shattered glass. She went on to say that she had raced out, very likely dropping her glove, out of fright when Laura had arrived. Laura recommended that Esme give herself in because, although she would likely simply receive a fine and community service, knowing that her acts had repercussions would make her feel much better. Laura answered her phone to Curtis at that very moment. He told her it was concerning her brother and urged her to go to the hospital. A few minutes later, Esme told the babysitter that she would be home in 10 minutes and left the restaurant. Nicholas turned to see her go. When Laura and Kevin got to the hospital, they saw Curtis. Curtis told them that Cyrus had been discovered by the priest by himself in the church. When they entered Cyrus's room, Portia told them that although Cyrus was stable, he had not yet come to. Laura wondered who had injured Cyrus. When Michael and Jocelyn got to Carly's, Jocelyn questioned whether he knew what the meeting was about. He said, "There's only one way to find out," and they went inside. Carly broke the news to her children that Bobby had died. She continued by saying that Bobby had been residing at Luke's flat and had passed away quietly while sleeping. Carly gave her kids a hug and assured Jocelyn that they will get through this together as she pondered what they would do without Bobby. Jocelyn and Michael arrived at Carly's, and Jocelyn wondered if Michael knew what was going on. "There's only one way to find out," he said as they walked into the house. Carly sobbed when she told her children that Bobby had died. She went on to say that Bobby had been sleeping at Luke's place and died quietly in her sleep. Carly held her children and assured that they would go through it together, as Jocelyn questioned what they would do without Bobby. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.